Welcome back to Inherited Dawn, your weekly dose of Straw Hat greatness. We are breaking down Chapter 174, Mr. Prince.
And what a title for a chapter that redefines what one man with a plan and a telephone can accomplish.
Oh, it's an all-timer. We open with Crocodile getting the most disrespectful phone call of his entire life, and it just gets better from there. The sheer nerve on display here is legendary. This isn't just a plan, it's a performance, and the stage is the entire city of Rainbase.
It's the kind of chapter that makes you want to follow the story beat by beat, just to see how all the pieces connect. It's like watching a master cartographer draw a map to a treasure you didn't even know existed. If you're out there building your own crew of Nakamatra to listen with, send them our way so they don't miss how this master plan unfolds.
Exactly. Let's get into it.
So, we're with Crocodile. He's in his office in Rain Dinners, looking down on the city like a king surveying his kingdom. The entire scene is drenched in opulence and power. He has his hook hand polished, he's smoking a cigar, he's the picture of untouchable authority. And the Den Mushi rings. He picks it up, all arrogance and power.
And on the other end is our boy Sanji, introducing himself as Mr. Prince. Just the coldest, smoothest introduction you can imagine. There's no hesitation. Think about it from Crocodile's perspective. This Den Mushi is probably a secure line. The only people who call him are his top agents or maybe the world government. And he just gets this velvety, confident voice on the other end. Sanji's not scared. He's not even tense. He's just in control.
The choice of that name, Mr. Prince, is a work of art in itself. It's not just an alias, it's a declaration. In a story about a kingdom and its princess, he co-opts the title of royalty. He's inserting himself into the fairy tale not as a random pirate, but as the heroic archetype. It's a direct, almost literary challenge to Crocodile's status as the usurper king.
Whoa, I didn't even think of it like that. He's literally telling him the hero of this story is on the line. That's super. And Crocodile, of course, has no idea who this is. He's just annoyed. He's probably thinking it's some low-level officer who messed up. But Sanji immediately starts getting under his skin, telling him he just beat up 1,000,000 of his Baroque works goons.
And he uses the term million. He knows the internal language of the organization. That's the first detail that probably sets Crocodile on edge. This isn't just some random outsider who stumbled into a fight. This person knows his hierarchy. It implies a level of intelligence and infiltration that would be deeply unsettling for a man who prides himself on control.
The bluff is incredible. I mean, we've seen Usopp tell some magnificent lies, but this is usually tall tales to save his own skin or impress someone. This is different. This is a tactical lie. It's a weapon. He's not just saying he's a threat, he's creating a mythology around this Mr. Prince character from thin air. He's building a reputation in real time, directly into the ear of the man in charge.
And he's using Crocodile's own system against him. The code names, the hierarchy, the aura of mystery that Baroque works cultivates. Sanji is mirroring it perfectly. He's speaking Crocodile's language, but using it to lie to his face. He's essentially saying, I understand your little game, and I'm already winning it. It's a profound act of psychological subversion.
It's so good. He even tells him exactly where he is, or where he wants Crocodile to think he is, right outside the casino. It's a direct challenge. It's not a threat from a distance. It's, I'm on your doorstep. Your security has failed. Your men are beaten. Come and get me. The sheer audacity is off the charts. He's dangling the bait right in front of the shark's nose.
This is more than just a distraction. It's psychological warfare. Sanji has clearly profiled his target. He understands that a man like Crocodile is ruled by two things, greed and, more importantly, pride. He knows he can't ignore a direct challenge, especially from someone who just publicly dismantled part of his operation and then had the gall to call him up and brag about it.
He's not trying to beat him in a fight. He knows he can't, not right now. He's trying to make him angry. He's trying to make him sloppy. He's turning Crocodile's greatest strength, his overwhelming confidence and impudence, into his greatest weakness. And it's working perfectly. You can practically feel the anger coming off him.
It's the ultimate chess move. In a game where Crocodile believes he owns the board and all the pieces, a new piece has just appeared out of nowhere and put the king in check. Sanji is moving the king exactly where he wants on the board, and the king is too angry to realize he's being played.
Meanwhile, Vivi is in the room with Crocodile, and she's just been watching this whole thing go down. She sees Crocodile getting furious, distracted by the phone call, and she sees her opening. She doesn't wait, she doesn't hesitate, she tries to bolt. But Crocodile still is a warlord of the sea, and we get a brutal reminder of that fact. He moves in a blur of sand and just snatches her out of the air, holding her by the head. It's a terrifying moment. It reestablishes the power gap instantly. No matter how clever the plan is, the physical threat is still immense. He could end her life with a single thought.
And the line he drops, just chilling. He tells her he's going to go deal with this Mr. Prince and bring back his corpse as a farewell gift for the others in the cage. It's so needlessly cruel. He's not just going to kill his enemy, he's going to use the body to terrorize his other captives.
That line reveals everything about his character. He's a sadist who thrives on despair. But it also confirms that Sanji's plan is working. He is so utterly convinced of his own superiority, so wrapped up in the personal insult, that it doesn't even occur to him that this could be a trap. In his mind, it's just an insect buzzing at his window that needs to be swatted. The thought of being outmaneuvered is completely alien to him. That arrogance is the key to this whole plan. It's the load-bearing wall of the entire operation. Sanji counted on it. He knew Crocodile would underestimate him, that he would take the bait personally instead of thinking strategically. He wouldn't send an agent, he would go himself because his pride demanded it.
Once he leaves, though, Vivi proves she's not just a princess who needs saving. She's been captured, manhandled, and threatened, but her spirit isn't broken. She immediately starts looking for a way out, scrambling for an escape route. She's not just waiting for the rescue, she's actively trying to be a part of it.
She's been learning from the Straw Hats. That's what this whole journey has been about for her. You don't just sit around and hope for the best. You fight, you run, you think, you do whatever it takes to make it to the next moment. I love that for her. She's becoming a true Nakama in spirit, even if she can't throw a punch like the others.
So Crocodile storms out of Rain Dinners, his gilded casino headquarters, absolutely furious. He's like a sandstorm of rage. He's not just walking, he's a force of nature tearing through his own base of operations.
And he walks into exactly what Mr. Prince told him he would. Total chaos. The entire entrance of the casino is a wreck. All of his guards, the millions that are supposed to be his first line of defense, are just scattered on the ground, completely taken out. It's a scene of total, one-sided devastation.
And it's the way they're taken out that sells it. It doesn't look like there was a struggle. It looks like it was fast, efficient, not a long, drawn-out brawl. It looks like a storm just passed through and laid everyone flat. I think I even saw footprints, and they looked calm, measured, not the frantic tracks of a desperate fight.
This is the moment the bluff becomes real. This is the proof of concept. Sanji wasn't just talking on the phone, he delivered. He told Crocodile he beat his men, and here's the physical evidence, laid out for him on his own front porch. The legend of Mr. Prince, which was just a voice on a phone 2 minutes ago, is now backed by a very real demonstration of power.
This is critical for the deception to work. A pure bluff might have made Crocodile suspicious, but a bluff supported by a tangible result? That's what convinces him. It confirms his initial assessment. This Mr. Prince is a fighter, a physical threat. It channels all his focus on a single misleading paradigm, blinding him to the true nature of the plan.
And then Crocodile sees it, a figure silhouetted in the distance, running away from the scene. It's just a shape, but it's all he needs.
In his mind, everything clicks into place with perfect false logic. That's him. That's Mr. Prince. He took out my men, and now the coward is running. It's exactly what Sanji wanted him to think. It fits the narrative of a challenger who got in a lucky shot and is now fleeing from the real power.
So he gives chase. The most powerful man in Alabasta, a warlord of the sea, the secret leader of a vast criminal empire, is now personally chasing a single fleeing figure across the desert city. He's abandoned his post. He's abandoned his prisoner. All his strategic acumen is gone, replaced by pure vindictive rage.
The sheer audacity of it. He pulled the big boss completely off the map. Sanji single-handedly removed the single greatest obstacle to their success from the equation. He isolated the queen and took her out of the game so the rest of the pieces could move. It's a masterful gambit.
And what a gambit! To bet everything on the predictability of one man's ego, that takes a special kind of courage. It's not about who can punch harder, it's about who understands his opponent better. Sanji read Crocodile like a book and played him like a fiddle.
It's a classic intelligence operation. You don't engage the primary threat directly if you can avoid it. You distract them, you misdirect them, you make them waste their energy and resources on a phantom while you achieve your real objective elsewhere. We saw echoes of this in military history, operations like Mincemeat in World War II, where false intelligence was used to divert enemy forces. Sanji has created his own man who never was.
And then the next piece of the plan clicks into place. As Crocodile is off in the distance, a speck on the horizon, the huge bridge that connects the casino to the rest of the city just collapses. It's not a small bridge either. It's a massive stone structure, and it crumbles into the sand river below.
Vivi, who has managed to get outside, sees this from her hiding spot and her heart just sinks. From her perspective, this is the worst possible outcome. The one escape route has just been destroyed.
Right, she's thinking like a normal person would. She sees it and thinks, we're trapped, the escape route is gone. Now we're stuck on this island with all the enemies, and the strongest one is going to be coming back eventually. It's a moment of total, crushing despair for her. You can feel her hope just evaporate.
And this is where the genius of the storytelling comes in, because what looks like a trap from one angle,
what is a fortress from another, and then the perspective shifts away from the destroyed bridge and the despairing princess, and who do we see? Sanji. Not running, not hiding, not even looking particularly concerned. He's casually playing a slot machine inside the casino without a care in the world. The contrast is just stunning.
He hears Vivi's gasp of horror, turns to her, and just calmly says it. It doesn't mean we can't get away, it means the enemy can't get in.
Super. That is one of the coldest lines in the entire series. That's it. That's the moment. He reframes the entire situation with a single sentence. The sound of the collapsing bridge wasn't the sound of a trap springing shut. It was the sound of a castle gate being raised. He didn't just have a plan to get Crocodile out. He had a plan to lock him out.
It's a complete reversal of fortune, a paradigm shift in a single line of dialogue. He's turned their prison into a safe house. He's not rescuing the crew from the casino. He's using the casino as the base for the rescue. The enemy's own headquarters has become the staging ground for the counter-operation. It's poetically brilliant.
The absolute swagger, the sheer unadulterated coolness of it all. To be playing the slots, probably trying to win some extra cash for Nami, while the most dangerous man in the country is on a wild goose chase that you orchestrated. That's a whole other level of confidence. That's Blackleg Sanji. That's the crew's strategist. We always knew he was smart, but this is different. This is master-level tactical thinking.
And think about what this does for Vivi. He didn't just give her an instruction. He gave her back her hope. He took her moment of deepest fear, of feeling utterly trapped, and showed her it was actually a moment of victory. It's a lesson in perspective. He's teaching her to see the battlefield the way he does.
He's the prince she needed in that moment. Not one of royalty, but one of tactical brilliance. He just lights a cigarette, cool as you please, and says, now, lead the way. He's ready for phase 2. Bro, it's just perfect. There's not a single wasted moment in this entire sequence. It's pure, distilled one-piece greatness.
And of course, we learn that final beautiful piece of the puzzle, the cherry on top of this perfectly constructed plan. The figure Crocodile is chasing? The one he's pouring all his rage and sand-based powers into catching?
It's Chopper. It's our little reindeer doctor, the newest, youngest member of the crew, probably in his walk point or maybe even horn point form, leading a Warlord around by the nose. Every single member has a role to play, even the one who just joined a few islands ago. It's not just Sanji's plan, it's a Straw Hat plan.
It's a testament to the crew's dynamic, something that Baroque works could never replicate. It's not just about Luffy punching the main bad guy. It's about everyone using their unique skills to make that final punch possible. Chopper's speed and adaptability, his devil fruit transformations being perfect for a decoy, Sanji's intellect and calm under pressure. It's a symphony of teamwork.
This is why they're going to make it. This is why Luffy will be king of the pirates. It's not because they're the strongest individually, not at this point anyway. It's because they're the smartest, most cohesive unit on the seas. They trust each other implicitly to do their part, no questions asked.
Sanji never once had to turn around and check if the decoy was in place. He just knew Chopper would be there, doing his job. And Chopper, who just joined and is still figuring out his place, trusted Sanji's plan enough to make himself the personal target of a monster like Crocodile. That level of faith is forged in shared adventure, not in fear or payment.
That bond is everything. It's the real treasure, you know? It's the thing the world government can never understand, and men like Crocodile can never buy. Baroque Works is full of agents who would sell each other out for a higher rank or a bigger paycheck. The Straw Hats would literally walk into hell for each other. That's the difference.
There's also a little author's note from Oda this week. He mentions the anime's time slot is changing in Japan.
Ah, a classic Oda-sensei check-in. It's wild to think about that, you know? While we're here analyzing this epic spy thriller he crafted, the real-world context is just him being a mangaka, excited about the anime adaptation. It's a cool little time capsule. Just him excited about the show getting a new home on Sunday nights.
It really grounds the whole thing. It's a reminder that behind this incredible, intricate world building and character work, he's also just a guy who loves what he does and is excited to share it. It adds a layer of charm to an already masterful chapter.
He's the best, just the absolute best. What an incredible chapter. A total masterclass in tension, release, and character. It's chapters like this that elevate One Piece from a great adventure manga to one of the best written stories of our time.
The Mr. Prince saga is officially one of Sanji's defining moments. Up until now, he's been the chef, the chivalrous fighter. This chapter establishes him as the crew's master strategist. He's the secret weapon you don't see coming.
Absolutely. This entire operation is going to be talked about for years. What a legend. This is the kind of story Usopp is going to be telling for decades, probably claiming he came up with the plan himself.
It really makes you think about how all the pieces are going to come together. Sanji and Vivi are inside, the rest of the crew is trapped somewhere within, and Crocodile is locked out, for now. We'd love to hear what you all think is coming next in the comments. Are we about to see the most stylish rescue in pirate history?
Okay, predictions. Let's do it. What's coming in 175? I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Woohoo. Prediction 1. We're going to see the rescue attempt begin. But the cage is more than just a cage. It's sea stone. That's why Smoker was there in Rainbase earlier. Crocodile didn't just capture him. He likely took his sea stone-tipped jite, or at least learned about sea stone's properties from him. It's a custom-built trap specifically for devil fruit users like Luffy and Smoker. And Sanji's gonna have to figure out a non-brute force way to open it.
That's good. Seastone would explain why they haven't just broken out already. Luffy can't stretch. Smoker can't turn to smoke. It raises the stakes beyond just finding them. It makes the cage itself a puzzle.
Exactly. My second prediction. We're going to cut back to Crocodile and Chopper. Crocodile is fast and relentless. He is going to catch him. But just as he's about to dehydrate our little doctor, Chopper will eat a rumble ball and transform into a form Crocodile has never seen. Something monstrous like Monster Point, or just a new combination that's unpredictable. It will shock Crocodile for just a second, buying Chopper just enough time to escape again. The chase isn't over yet, and Chopper's medical genius will be what saves him.
I like that. Using the rumble ball not for a full fight, but for a strategic retreat. It fits the theme of intellect over brute force. Okay, my turn. My first prediction is that we will not see the cage next chapter. Not yet. I believe the story will build the tension. We will follow Sanji and Vivi as they navigate the casino, and it will become clear that Rain Dinners itself is a maze filled with other Baroque Works traps and guards. Perhaps we even run into another officer agent who wasn't on the front lines. Mr. 2 Bunclay, perhaps. It would be just like him to be lounging inside. The rescue won't be a simple walk to the basement.
Ooh, so the rescue isn't a straight shot. There are more layers to the security. I can see that. Crocodile wouldn't leave his base completely undefended even if he did run out in a rage. A run-in with Bonclay would be amazing and chaotic.
My second prediction concerns the others in the crew. When we do finally see them in the cage, they won't be panicking. They'll be arguing. Specifically, Zoro and Luffy will be arguing about whose fault it is that they got captured. Usopp will be crying and writing his last will and testament, and Nami will be trying to pick the lock with a hairpin, completely ignoring the chaos around her. They have total, absolute faith that someone is coming. Their concern isn't if they'll be rescued, but rather bickering to pass the time until the rescue arrives.
That is 100% what is happening in that cage right now. I can hear it in my head. Zoro saying Luffy got them caught because he's an idiot. Luffy saying Zoro got lost on the way to not getting caught. Nami is just trying to find a way to bill them for the emotional distress. It's perfect.
And through it all, they know help is on the way. They may be trapped by a warlord in a cage of sea stone, but they are not afraid. They just don't know that help is arriving in the form of a prince. And that's where we'll have to leave it for this week.
What a chapter! Join us next time as we dive into what happens next in this super operation. Until then, keep sailing that dream.